Hello, 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 everyone, or should I say good morning? Wow, it is 4:40 a.m. in the morning for me. Basically, it's not even nighttime, and we are finally starting our PC stream. Who's ready for a 24-hour stream on the PC? Not me. If we do another 24-hour stream, I'll probably have a good night's rest first. But I had my rest. I've been busy. Actually, I've been busy on the second channel. That's why I've been busy on the busy channel, man. It's taking up a lot of my time. It's actually really impressive over there. I'm having a lot of fun. However, we're back over here on Monster Hunter World Iceborne on the PC. My character is only Master Rank 93. We got to fix that. We got to get to Master Rank 100. So let's farm up some anything you want to farm. I don't really mind. But let's farm some of that. And maybe Safajiva, I don't know. Should we do Safajiva? God, I hate Safajiva. He's so terrible. There's the session ID. Anyone can join. And what you guys could do is if you have quests you're also working on, I will join your quests and totally leech off of you, and you could carry me, and I will talk about crappy subjects in the meantime. My last live stream, by the way, got demonetized. Well, it got it did like an ad suitability thing. Isn't that sad? We're not allowed to talk about anything except for, I don't know, inclusivity and happy things on YouTube, where you get the axe. But that's okay, because you guys are able to support me in other ways. You guys are often very generous with your tips. I've got some Patreon supporters, and I even have a little bit of an eBay store going right now. I intend for it to be much larger in the near future. So if you were to check out my description of the live stream, you'll see a new line that says merch. That takes you over to my eBay store, where I'm now going to be selling some professionally graded Pokemon cards. If you want to toss a few dollars my way anyways, you might be interested in picking up one of those cards. So thought I'd go ahead and mention that. I'll probably mention that a few times from here on out so that more people are aware of it. And I'm ready to get started. Are you guys ready to get started? Pongo says, "What are you doing up, mister?" Hey, mister. Burnt says, "What's up? How's it going, Burnt?" Holy Soldier says, "Pump those numbers. Those are rookie numbers." Jojo says, "Best way to start my birthday." What is a birthday? Is by watching your stream in the morning. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. Man, I need to practice my German. Guten Morgen. How do I say I want to eat bacon and I want to eat eggs? I can't remember the word for eating. Essen or something like that? I don't remember. Anyways, what's this build? What am I holding on to? Tereth Blitz Pierce. Oh, that's right. Somebody did a weapon request at the end of the last live stream on the PC, and he's like, "What if you used Pierce on Kolv?" And I was like, "What if I did that?" And it was okay. It wasn't that bad. My build probably sucked, though, if I had to guess. My birthday is... Oh, right, birthday. Yeah, so this is another one of the chat time streams where you guys can talk to me about anything you'd like to talk about. We can talk about how there's nothing to do in Monster Hunter right now, right? So I don't know if everyone feels that way, but a lot of veteran players like myself, I'm not talking about all the old games, but I'm definitely a veteran of this game, Monster Hunter World. We don't have anything to do. That's right, you defeat Archnimper Namielle to discover that her armor's not even useful, so you really don't even need to fight her in the first place. So you can speed run? Or you could just hang out with friends, which is exactly what we're doing. We're hanging out. We're hanging out, and I'll even help you. Let's see if anyone joined, by the way. Oh, we got a few people. Loya, Luffy, Foos, Arc Fatal, Inanna, Zed, and who's that guy named D? Wow, he's only Master Rank 93. Scrub alert! Bro, it's like 5 a.m. by me. Are you sure you're getting enough sleep? No, I am not sure. Amnesia says Essen, yeah, is the verb. Oh, I actually got it right. Wie geht's, Rundfunk Veranstalter? What? Let's do some Safi, haha. I reached my personal goals a month ago, so I've given up on the game. Yeah. And I think people still actually like to watch me play, and they like to hear the commentary and all that, but I tell you what, there's just not much left for me to do in this game, for now. Elytron will come back, and we will all return to party with Elytron for sure. For me, I'll probably I haven't decided exactly what I want to do. For my content, I can keep playing every single day and focus on helping maybe like a newer community of hunters who are coming in and learning the game for the first time, because I was looking at all the games that we could play. There's not a lot. Monster Hunter's doing well because it has no competition. There's like nothing else to play. So for all the people who haven't been playing Monster Hunter, they're all jumping over to this boat going, all right, I'll play this. But yeah, for the people who are already here, the veteran players, there's just really not a lot to do, is there? So it's an interesting thing. It's definitely an interesting thing. All right. Well, today we're definitely going to have an interesting stream because I'm streaming at one of the worst times of the day to be streaming. It's those hours where people are. It's just late enough that everyone's gone to bed, and it's just early enough that in Europe people are still just waking up. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not anticipating a very large audience this time around, but that's okay. What do we have here? Light break blade? Speed eating? That's cool. So we are going to make it to Master Rank 99, hopefully by the end of the stream, but that's okay if it takes a little longer. Maybe 2 streams, guys. It's pronounced Luffy. Luffy. I reached my personal goals. More time for Pokemon hunting. You can try to get all achievements. Goes to sleep, you frick. How's it going, Metal X? Play Dauntless. Lol. Dauntless Omega lol. We were talking to... oh man, my TV settings are turned down all the way. I was having those eye problems, and so I turned my lighting down all the way. Let me see if I can fix this real fast. Picture size, picture settings. Oh, do you guys actually see this? You probably don't. Bring the backlight on a little bit. Contrast color. Alright, that's probably enough. Alright, fix that. Sweet. It's noon here. Perfect time. Shiro says, stop right there. Stop. In the name of the law. Let's go have a meal. Session ID. Here is the session ID. Get your booty in here. Get your booty in here. Get that motherfucking booty in here. Which platform? We are on the Game Boy. This is the Game Boy Advance. Welcome. Hey, mister. What platform are you on? Hey, mister. I didn't even look at the thumbnail. Only 4 monsters are unaffected by flint shot, says ES. So it's your... Luke! He says, Aussie here. Appreciate the time for the stream and on PC. Bugger, I can't make out session ID. Why aren't you here making out with me? You have to... Oh, man. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate the donation, Luke. Thank you so much, man. Elmer says, Elmo Glue here. Session ID. Pressure is real. Safi, let's go. I don't know, though. Do we really need Safi? Oh, you should see my cat. Do I have my phone nearby? I don't. You should see my cat. She's looking for the hair tie that I tossed for her. She had me throw a hair tie, and it landed in this odd spot, and now she's all contorted trying to find it. She can't find it, though. That's too funny. She's off to the side. My wife's asleep. Wow, I'm up at 5 a.m. and my wife's asleep. And so I can do and say anything I want, and she can't stop me. Look at this guy. It's acting like I've never seen him before. Maybe I haven't. Oh, you gotta get mad. Oh, and he's throwing him into a wall. Dude, I can't see anything. It's way too dark. I can't see anything. Glad Safi's back. Didn't get a poison hammer from Kolf so maybe Safi will help me. Smack. Oh, did you just grab me? Hi from Indonesia. Hello, Indonesia. Hi from Indonesia. Hello from Brazil. So smooth on the computer, to be honest. Isn't it? That's smooth as hell. But I can't see anything. The lighting is so off for this. I don't get it. I never have this problem on the consoles. Turn my TV backlight on or something. Whew. Oh yes, we hit him there too. Nice. go ahead and soften up a wing. One of these chicken wings. You guys like chicken wings? I'm a huge fan of chicken wings. But then I found out the reason why chicken wings are so good is because they're super unhealthy, which makes a lot of sense. That's actually how it is a lot of the time when you enjoy something. Usually because it's loaded with fat and like a sugar. That is the basis of cooking. How much fat and how much sugar are you going to throw on? And salt. Oh, we actually hit him. What the hell? With the tackle? Now I'm getting the rest from Safi only to replace them as soon as Kolf Taroth is back. LMAO. You better not be LMAOing in my chat room. Mods! My kitty's gonna meow because I'm not playing with her. Luke! He says, oh, those characters are equal signs in the session ID. Joining now. Can we talk some spicy stuff like what you did? What do you think of Muslims? I got no problem with Muslims. That is how I feel. I just wish that there was no terrorism. And I don't know. I'm not particularly fond of the whole women hiding their faces thing, but that's their whole deal. And I think that over time, probably a lot of Muslims may become atheists, just like many Christians became atheist over time. And that's largely because back in 2006, 2007, we received the smartphone and people got smart, sort of. But no, really, you know, arguments about religion and the existence of God are so easy to find now, and the best teachers, I meant to say teachers and speakers, so I can kind of combine that word. But the best teachers and the best debaters and everyone kind of comes together on the internet. And so I think not just Muslims, but Christians and Jews and all of the denominations in between probably are backing off of religion a little bit. And I think, like many liberals have said, most Muslims are not interested in terrorism or anything like that. Actually, you know, I think one of the arguments I've heard is that even when, okay, let's say Muslims aren't into terrorism, the majority of them are not. People will say something along the conservatives will say something along the lines of, well, no, they don't want to do, or they don't want terrorism, but they don't. What's the word? They don't dislike it either, or something like that. It would be some kind of argument like that. But yeah, I had time to think about it. I'm like, everyone's like that, man. Every group is trying to advance their group. It's always like that. So I think that there's often a lot of discomfort around Islam because it's very different from Christianity. It's fairly different from Judaism, and you know, Muslims don't necessarily share all of the Western values that we have in Europe and in America. So there's a lot of just inherent how do I say, like conflict, kind of like internal conflict. Even if people aren't talking about it out loud, there's conflict. You know, people feel it. And but yeah, I don't actually dislike Muslims, and I wouldn't join Islam myself, though. You know what I mean? I wouldn't join Islam myself. And really, what's most important in your society is to make sure that the laws are set up so that a religion can't necessarily take over and do things like make changes to the Constitution. So that's one of the nice things about living with laws that separate church and state, is you can come in here and you can practice whatever religion you're going to practice, but you're not allowed to kill people, and you're not allowed to, I don't know, stop free speech and other things that we protect in our Constitution. Yeah, I don't have a problem with them. Every group has extremists. True, Islam definitely has more extremism. I remember I was actually reading, it was ABC News, and they're usually pretty liberal in their thoughts and their articles, and they were actually talking, this was back in 2017, I think, and they were doing a report on the number of terrorist attacks across the entire world, and the amount of extremism, Islamic extremism, is not even close in terms of what's the word? It's not comparable when it comes to Christianity and Judaism. And there's people argue that that's not true. People will say, well, the state of Israel, they're oppressing the Palestinians, and people will say, well, America is very tyrannical, and people there claim to be Christian and stuff like that. But there's significant, what is he doing? There's significant differences in some of our basic beliefs, you know, like being forced to literally interpret perhaps some sort of writings versus being able to take them as more of more of guidelines or something like that, which is something you find with Christianity, especially the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church, they believe in like faith and reason, which is a clever way of saying they don't actually do literally what the Bible tells them to do. And actually, that's why some Christian religions are, they branched off of Catholicism, and they said, well, the Catholics are wrong. You have to take a literal interpretation of the Bible. So it's a fun topic, isn't it? Religion is a very fun topic. But again, I don't dislike Muslims, and my point of view is that over time you will see probably a lot of religion, including Islam, kind of fading down, and mostly this is because of access to the internet. That's the biggest reason. How's it going, Chumpy? Proctor says Islam doesn't go door to door on Saturday mornings. Shiro says I personally agree on do what makes you happy, so do what you want. Right. So that's sort of a philosophy. Do what makes you happy, and the philosophy is that you can live in an interconnected society where you pay taxes, where your children go to school together, and you could do what you want and you won't affect the people around you. But that's not actually true. You almost always affect each other. For example, people right now who believe that you should stay at home versus people who think you should be out working. That's a perfect example of not being able to do what you want to do. You got two groups with conflicting ideas. And the question is, how do we sort out who gets what? And the best way to do it, in my opinion, is I guess with corona, that's a totally different topic. That's coronavirus. What should we do with coronavirus? I think people should go back to work in the safest way possible. That's what I think should happen. But that's the issue of coronavirus. When it comes to do what you want philosophy in terms of, all religions can coexist, I don't actually think that works very well. I don't think everyone coexists very well. That's why you have to have strong laws that are independent of the religions that tell you what you actually are allowed to do and do. So, for example, let's say honor killings. Nope, you can't do that one. How about killing apostates? You can't do that one either. So as long as you have laws in your country that protect people from these sort of issues, I don't think that Islam and Muslims would be a problem in the West. The bigger question would be, how will people change in terms of their religious ideology over time? And again, my prediction is that many people will leave religion. Many people will leave religion. Islam is not that different to Christianity or Judaism. No, I strongly disagree with that too. They have things in common. Yes, there's overlap, but there's also some pretty significant changes between them. There are significant differences between Orthodox Jews and Catholics. Some pretty large differences. Church of Satan, when? How's it going, Sync? That's right, we need to start the Church of Shugurkin. I'm starting a new church. It's going to be Church of Shugurkin. Are you guys ready to join? Let's see if there's something to join. We will be ruthless. We will conquer everywhere in the world, and we will spread our... That's what all the religions always inevitably do. The major religions that exist do a few things. One of the main things they do is they tell women that, you're going to have to be subservient to men and have a bunch of babies. The second thing that religions do, the successful ones, the second one that they do, is they go out and they conquer everyone. And they have different ways of doing that. Some really distinct qualities amongst them, actually. So, for example, many people don't know that for Jews, they kind of don't let you marry outside of their religion. They're like, you have to marry a Jew, which is really interesting from a genetic point of view, because it means you just pass your genes back and forth amongst your own people. Catholics, Christians, they don't really believe in physically forcing people to join their religion, because the belief is that the Jews, Orthodox Jews, believes God's going to return and all that stuff, right? And he's going to be the king on earth and all that, right? Whereas the Catholics don't really believe that. They think that, okay, the whole Jesus chapter is over, everything's up in heaven, and now we're just going to convert people with love, and then they're going to go up to heaven. And I would say Islam is more like Judaism. It's more of a physical thing. We got to take over. Allah wants the whole world to be Muslim, etc., etc. Islam is not as you mentioned. What? It is not that way. Well, I don't want to disagree with you, because I very much want to pander to my entire audience. Nobody's posting. I guess I'll join an SOS. Oops. The number one thing I do not want to do is say absolutely anything controversial. How about special assignment? Oh, okay, we'll do Across the Lost Path. A lot of stories in Quran and the Bible are shared. They're from the same region, so that makes sense maybe. Yes Man says, boo, play the game. Celesti says, Raytheon, Pink Raytheon, Gold Raytheon, Rathalos, Azure Rathalos, Silver Rathalos. Next update is going to be Chromatic Raytheonlos. Sync says, FYI, the amount of roadside protests when Church of Satan members having their rally disagree with the notion of coexistence. Oh my gosh, I just hiccuped. Islam believe in the person's own choice, not forcing anyone. Yeah, maybe certain groups of Islam. That is not true for some groups of Islam, especially depending on what country you're talking about. There's countries where you're not allowed to be an apostate because there's some pretty significant consequences. There's countries where you're not allowed to blaspheme against Islam. This is not at all what we believe in the West. In the West, you're allowed to make fun of people's religions. Where you're allowed to like draw goofy ass pictures. I remember when I was younger, there was like this artist. I can't remember if they were in New York or California, but it upset my mom really bad because what the artist did was they bought like a old Catholic painting of Mother Mary, and then what they did was they actually took a dump on it. Right? They shat on it, and then they spread the poop around on the picture, and then they sold that as art. And and to my mom, that's like a religious relic almost, and they're just like. Right, they're taking a dump on it, so that was real upsetting for her. But it's like that's what you can do in the West. You have a freedom to do that, and it sold too. That's why it was so interesting. It actually sold. Wait, what are we doing here? Hunt a Stygian as an ogre. Oh, I thought this was a different quest. This is a boring quest. I'm out of here. So, anyways, but that's it. So in the West, we strongly do believe in being able to say what you want, having freedom of thought, and maybe even being offensive a little bit. Although you wouldn't believe that from the left anymore. Now they believe if you don't agree with their points of view on issues about, let's say, immigration or race or sex, if you don't agree with that, then you're, that's violence or something like that, and they have to shut down your speech. Speech is violence. Speech can be violence, by the way. It's just, it has to actually be violent speech, you know what I mean? Special assignments. Oh, that is Guiding Lands, huh? Let's go up to Assigned. Let's help Talia with the regular Namiel. Do you think science has become a modern man's religion? A lot of people blindly follow scientists like they followed priests. Abso-freaking-lutely, Joey. Absolutely, I agree with that. That is a topic I was actually thinking about today. One of the things I've done throughout my lifetime is constantly debated people online. And what's interesting is, over time, people's style of debate has changed. People have gotten more tech-savvy, nuanced, and what they do is they go online and they find an article with like some scientific quote, and then they say, hey, the science says this, I'm right. And it turns out science is interesting. Science, it's empirical evidence, and we often believe that what we're being told by the evidence is the right way to do something until a few years later, the evidence changes, and all of a sudden, old science is super outdated. This happens all the time. But not only that, you can have this evidence that comes out, and then people interpret it in the way that suits their point of view. So this is the frustrating thing with arguing with people in the future. They would just take some piece of data and say, see, because of this data, I'm right. And then all you have to do is Google the same piece of data, except Google it from the point of view of your side of the argument, and you would just say, see, I quoted the same data, and now you're wrong. So, yeah, people say, oh, we have science. But many things in the world are still unexplained. Where did we come from? Why are things in existence? And there's still many phenomenon we don't understand. That doesn't necessarily mean it's there because, a mysterious ghost did it. But the point is that people can end up perhaps worshiping a new belief in reality, I guess. You know what I mean? I think this happens all the time I think this happens all the time in politics, for example. I think that people have moved away from religious ideology, and people would accept religious ideology because they said, well, that's what God told me to do. So that was how religious ideology was based. They would say, God told me to do this, and therefore it's right. But now we have scientific ideology where you say, you have to agree with my point of view on this because the science says this is how it's meant to be. And then often it's just like, what are you talking about? This science could be totally wrong on this subject. A great example of that would be I can't remember the name. What is it called? It's the book that the psychologists use in order to diagnose people with psychological disorders. They're always kind of updating that and changing it and making claims on, like, this is the way you should be because we say so in our little book. Like, men have to, we have to learn to express our emotions better and stuff like that. And basically, it punishes men for being able to be emotionally reserved and maybe being more in control of your emotions. And it's just like, what are you talking about? That has served men so well for so long. Yeah, you don't need to be that way 100% of the time, but that's not a psychological disorder. That's just a part of living in reality. You know what I mean? Men need to get in touch with their feelings. That's basically what it said. And it's stuff like that constantly is coming out. And then people with, I would say, small brains read it and they say, oh my God, this is the truth. That's what they say. And they don't question it. They say, oh my God, it's the truth. And some guy who changed the book gets some sort of special award or something for being super brilliant. And the world just keeps going on, and nobody's having children in the West anymore. It's like, wow, that was really brilliant, except nobody has children now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would say that people have this exact problem where you remove religion and people just follow a new ideology blindly without really being a critical thinker. Or maybe they're stuck in this state of not having an opinion at all, which is its own problem. Oh, God. Hey, could you meld Cove weapons without killing her? And I'm hurt. Nothing is ever certain, even if all the data points towards something. Well, there's things that you can actually rely on. Like, for example, airplanes seem to fly pretty well, right? So there's certain laws about physics that nobody really debates. Although we don't have time travel and we can't, like, travel at the speed of light or anything like that, right? But yeah, airplanes generally do fly. Airplanes are reliable. Physics are reliable. But there's definitely scientific reasons that are a lot more not misunderstood, but perhaps we're using them in a way that's not really fair. We're using them to say, because of this, that, and we don't have enough information to be making claims like that. You know what I mean? Especially the more and more that those scientific claims start to reach into maybe social structures, social norms, and just issues that normally would be taken care of by religion. You know what I mean? So issues of like morality and ethics that normally would be taken care of by religion, when you replace that with science, you don't normally get a better religion. Yo, this convo is too deep. I just want to make monsters go die. Oh my gosh, she's trying to hurt me. We all just want to belong. That's right, you can all join my new religion, Church of Shigurkin. We are going to have a higher power and a higher meaning, and you can feel like you're part of something greater. Read some papers, and you will notice that statements are always passive. It appears that studies indicate that we expect, because you can never truly say something. Yeah. I do strongly believe in the scientific method, and I think science has brought us an enormous amount, I should say, of progress in the 21st century. It's just that maybe we have reached a point where people think that science is infallible, when the truth is the more science dips into issues of, oh God, I'm dead. The more science dips into uncharted territory with how we act socially, psychological issues and stuff like that, the more opinion-based it is rather than fact-based. Whereas when you're dealing with something that's strictly about maybe like physics, then you can go like, yeah, that works. Luke says, ex-Jehovah's Witness here, used to go door to door. Not much fun for us either. It is a dangerous cult, but nothing compared to Islam. Nothing compared to Islam. Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. Alex says, look, guys, I am God. Look no further. Angelo says, hey, dude, I'm a new sub and love your content. Hope you keep up the great work. Also, what platform do you play on? I play on Kenmore Smart Fridge, and I play on the Game Boy Advance. Thanks so much, man. Slowsty says, look at gravity. It's very likely that we are correct, but if you wanted to, you could try to disprove it. God, on the other hand, you cannot attempt to disprove his existence. Right, that's called falsifiability or something like that. Thoughts on abortion? That's a controversial subject. We've talked about it on this channel before. I do support access to abortion, especially in cases like rape. If you're somebody who's kind of like a perfectionist on the issue, like, oh, but that's murdering a child, right? Even in the case of rape, I would still go through with it. Basically, what I'm saying is go through with the murder, and you can blame the father because he placed the baby in the mother without her consent, so he will be responsible for the murder. And the other issue, how do I feel about, is it a person or is it not a person? I would say it's probably a person. Yeah, it probably is. And I think that a lot of pro-abortion men and women, they don't like to say that because, one, it would make them feel very uncomfortable, and two, it might be a very weak position to take when it comes to legal battles over whether or not abortion should be legal. So they never say the truth and say, yeah, this is a person. You know what I mean? Because that's the issue, is always personhood. Oh, it's a clump of cells. Well, you don't just remove a clump of cells from your body. You remove the particular clump of cells that you know is about to become a person. And the reason you're doing that is to get rid of the person in you. So it's not such a confusing subject when you're being honest. People don't like to be honest, especially when a lot of emotions are involved, but also when such a big decision is involved. Appeal to popularity is logical fallacy. Luthi. All I try to say is science and religion can coexist. This is accurate. Science and religion can coexist, yes. There will be no religion. Luthi, I don't think that is necessarily... I mean, I suppose it's possible. I don't know. Actually, there's a... God, man, I can't remember this stuff. I'm so educated, right? There's a concept in philosophy that we don't actually have advanced enough brains to be able to understand, like there's limitations to reality that we're capable of physically perceiving, and so because of those limitations, we actually never will know if there is a God or if there's no God. So that's a field of philosophy. Did I say psychology? A field of philosophy that I can't remember the name of it. People continue to believe, though, which isn't necessarily a religion, but it does form its basis. Coke or Pepsi? Coca-Cola. I worked for Coca-Cola for 2 years. They're a great company, by the way. Actually, Pepsi seemed alright, too, to tell you the truth. Hey, mister, can you name your firstborn son Lance in honor of your favorite weapon in Monster Hunter World, Iceborne the Lance? Alright, I'm doing it. Religion is based on faith, and faith is not scientific. Right, but there's actually a point where science is based on a little bit of faith. Like, okay, it depends on what question you're trying to answer. So you say, religion is based on faith. Well, yeah, because religion tries to answer the question, where did we come from? Okay, and so when you have science answer the same question, it turns out science can't answer that question. Where did we come from? Oh, we came from stardust, and then we turned into living creatures. All right, but how does a non-living piece of physical atoms reach a point where they swap over to be living beings? Like, what is keeping us alive, So, like, if you were to reproduce all of my physical anatomy in a lab, and you put the brain in and all that other stuff, would I be alive? Well, no. Why not? They don't really know. So there's these limitations to science as well, and what happens is they start developing scientific theories to explain them, like, where did the Big Bang come from? Oh, okay, the Big Bang came from this thing. All right, where did that come from? Right, and you just keep going. I can't remember the name of that. See, that's got an argument. It's got a specific name as well. That's the thing about philosophy. It's always got a name for everything. It's got a name for every argument. But that's a common argument when it comes to the issue of religion. And it is a common issue that both science and religion try to explain. And religion basically says, well, God is the thing that is self-created in the beginning of everything, right? And religion and science, with science, they don't really have an answer for that. Like, okay, so what created the Big Bang? I don't know. This other thing that's a bigger bang. All right, well, what created that? We live in a parallel universe with a million other universes. All right, where did that come from? And it just keeps going backwards and backwards and backwards, and they don't really... There's a point where they don't have an explanation for it. And so what they have to do is they have to say, well, we didn't come from a god. That's what science concludes. We didn't come from a god. And it's like, how do you know? And they're like, we're just assuming. And that's the point where science starts to dip into faith as well. Okay? So for those of you who are like, well, religion, the problem with the religions is that there's a bunch of them. Okay, so there's all these different religions, and they're all basically claiming, hey, I'm the religion. I'm the right religion. That's the problem with all the religions. I'm the right religion. And it's like, how do you know? There's a bunch of other ones. What if you're the one that's wrong? And you say, I'm not wrong. It says right here in my Bible that I'm the right one. All right. If God's real, he could pop down right now and just kind of conveniently wrap all that up for us. He could be like, no, actually it's Islam. Islam's the right one. He could do that right now. You realize that. But he doesn't. And he's been missing for a while. God's been missing for a while. Has anyone else noticed that? So in all the old Bibles and Qurans and Old Testament, New Testament, it seemed like God got around, He kind of talked to everyone, he communicated, and conveniently around the time that we start developing a way to record him, record video, record sound, he just kind of disappears forever. Miracles don't really occur so much anymore, so he just kind of disappears around the time that we invent the ability to record things. That's pretty conspicuous. Is conspicuous a word? I'm gonna look it up now. That's kind of coincidental is the right word, probably. Conspicuous. Standing out so as to be clearly visible. Okay, conspicuous is a word. Weird. And I think I was kind of using it correctly. That's kind of conspicuous. So anyways, both science and religion have shortcomings in explaining our reality. You see what I'm saying? And that's why, super smart guy Elon Musk, that everyone loves so much, that's why he goes around saying, fedora tipping things like, oh, what if we're all in a simulation? It's because the problem is you wouldn't know if you were in a simulation. No good scientist would be close-minded enough to say no good scientist would say that. You have to be open-minded. Alex says, I believe once we can further study the quantum realm, a lot of questions that we rely on faith to provide us a makeshift answer will provide the factual solutions we've been seeking. So, Alex, you're funny. You remind me of myself when I was younger. And I didn't realize how... I'm not beating up on you, but I didn't realize back then how cringy I was. Because I thought I was, super smart and super woke and super, educated because I would say things just like that. Science will lead us there. Science will reveal all. But then I continue my education on the complexity of this issue and realize, no, science is actually never going to answer the most difficult questions. It's just impossible for both science and religion to answer those questions in an evidence-based way. So it's kind of, if you've ever seen on the internet, those memes of the guy tipping his fedora and he's got his atheist Bible under his arm, checkmate Christians or whatever, checkmate atheists. If you ever go and look at those memes, they're kind of making fun of you. They're poking fun at you because just like people get stuck on their beliefs in religion, there are actually atheists who get stuck on their beliefs that there's definitely not a God. You see what I'm saying? So there could be a God or there could not be a God, but you actually would have no way of ever knowing this. It's pretty much impossible to know. It's pretty much impossible to know. Luthi says all we have to do is wait. In time, science will answer all questions. That's right. What? Matthew says hello. East says, just mind if you'll like the answer or not. Literally can't. Got him. Why are we here? It's not impossible, just improbable. No. This is a whole topic in philosophy, whether or not we're capable of understanding ideas beyond our reality. So one of the problems with trying to determine the beginning of everything, is that I'm trying to remember. There's a term for it. Is it ontological? Ontological argument. Ontological arguments are arguments for the conclusion that God exists from the premise which are supposed to derive from some source other than observation of the world. Okay, so I think it is ontological. Many arguments fall under the category of the ontological, and they tend to involve arguments about the state of being or existence. Yeah, so the issue with the Big Bang going backwards further and further and further and reaching a point where we don't really know what created the Big Bang, perhaps it's metaphysics that created the Big Bang, that's the point that you reach the limitations of humans' of physical observation, right? So all of our tools, our magnifying glasses, our everything, it's all based on observable physics. Do you understand the word observable here? So we have, our bodies are made out of physically observable parts. We have eyes, and we use our senses and our brain in order to look at things. That's how all science is based, right? So the ability to put airplanes in the sky is based on our ability to look at numbers on a page and do stuff with it. But if you are talking about metaphysics, kind of the definition of metaphysics is that it's beyond our sensory system. It's beyond our physical bodies. So if the creation of all reality is metaphysical, then by definition, you're just never going to experience it. It's beyond the limitations of science. See? And so this is the problem with being like a kind of like a militant atheist. Oh, science will answer everything over time. There's a very good chance that it won't. There's a very, very good chance that it won't. Very, very good chance. I mean, unless we can like do time travel back a bazillion years. Hey, mister, what happened to your last video? So, for the second time, the last video got uploaded and half the video is missing. So, my editor is once again re-rendering the video, and we're going to try a third time to get it posted. In time, we'll find out. Science is evolving. In time, people will be traveling to Mars like you travel to another... Well, yeah, that's great. I actually agree with you. We probably will be traveling to Mars. That doesn't mean that science is going to conclude perfectly accurately that there's no God. Because it's one of those issues that probably will never be solvable ever. Unless humans somehow, we get our brains and our mind outside of our physical limitations of our sensory body. Do you see what I'm saying? So I've been exactly where you've been in this these issues, these thoughts, where it's like, yeah, religion can do all you have to do is believe in science. What are you talking about when you say all you have to do is believe in science? You're talking about faith. That's what you're talking about. Science can solve it all. That's faith, actually. When you say that kind of stuff, you're just having faith that it can. TGC, help that guy. You're not fighting the monster. I once ran an experiment with sea anomes. They have no brains, but they display distinct personalities. Some were reclusive, others were aggressive. Found it very interesting. Thanks for the thanks for sharing. Since science couldn't explain how humankind existed, we have to consider the religious point of view. Well, and again, the problem with religions, the problems they have is that there's a lot of them. So, you know, it's fun if you want to mess with somebody who's religious. If you want to mess with them, just be like, all right, so let's say there's 3 major religions. 2 of them are definitely wrong. They can't all be exactly correct. So that would mean 2/3 of all religious people are dead wrong. Like, just by logic, they're dead wrong. So mess with them with that question. And there's always the possibility that all 3 are wrong. You know what I mean? Hey, maybe it's the Mormons. The Mormons have the right religion and no one else does. Everyone else is not doing what God wants, or they're worshiping the wrong God. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, if you want to mess with a religious person, it's actually very easy. And this is one of the reasons why I think that religion is kind of dying down very quickly, especially in places that have a lot of education. And then in places that don't allow this sort of thinking and sort of education, it doesn't die down as fast. But when they get over here to the West and they pick up their iPhone, they're going to be exposed to these kind of arguments too. And they're going to be scratching their heads going, oh man, that's actually a fairly good argument. At least 2/3 of them are wrong. Let's say it's worse than that. Let's say there's like 24 religions in the world. That would mean only 1 out of 24 of all religious people. Not 1/24 of all the religious groups, I should say, would be actually correct about their God and their beliefs. That's really bad, isn't it? That's really bad. That's really bad. That means most people are practicing a false religion, right? And so if you can kind of come to that conclusion that most people are practicing a false religion, you can make another conclusion. You can conclude that most religions are made by men. And you can also make another conclusion. You can realize that men make up religions. So they can't all be right. So what does that mean? That means some of them were just made up. They were made up by dudes like you and me. They were totally made up. They can't all be correct at the same time. We're not living in like separate universes where they're all true and it's this great scientific parallel universe thing. No, we're all here at the same time right now. And those other religions, they're totally made up by dudes. How do you know it's not yours? How do you know yours isn't the made up one? You just wouldn't know that, would you? Well, I had a vision in my sleep. We all have visions in our sleep. I had visions of sexy boobies the other night. ES says, LMAO, why does this thing not die? I'm ready for Arch-Tempered Sophijiva to be announced. Maybe your God. That's right, not mine. Angela says, seriously though, a podcast may be fit for your voice. Lost Sauce, yo, a TGE podcast. Yo, get into it. Would be really interesting. But yeah, these are things I've actually thought a great deal about because even when I was very young, the topic of religion was always always a very central part of my life. Most of my homeschooling, while it was definitely wasted because I didn't learn anything useful, most of my education as a homeschooler was to learn how to debate religion, and then I did it naturally anyways because I enjoyed it. For anyone thinking there isn't a God, then if gravity was stronger by a millisecond, we wouldn't exist. That is just my reasoning. Actually, Matthew, there's good arguments for that against what you're believing too. So you're using the argument that basically here's your argument. I love this one because I've done this one before. Are you ready to have your mind blown, Matthew? So basically your argument is the requirements for the universe, and specifically the Earth, to support human life are so small that there's no way that it happened on accident. There must have been a creator for it. Okay, that's the basis of your argument. But what you're not really understanding is some really more abstract ideas in math, okay? So imagine for a moment infinity. Imagine an infinite amount of time, just infinite amount of time. That's really hard to do, actually, imagining an infinite amount of time. And then just imagine that there's an event that can occur if, just something chaotic is operating the universe, right? So sort of like a chaotic event can occur, but it has to have a chance to occur. And then let's say this event is trying to occur every certain period of time, and almost all of the time it fails. Almost all the time. Like, let's say you're talking about this small odds of the Earth existing and being able to support human life. But if you're waiting for literally an infinite amount of time, here's the fun part. You would conclude at some point it would then finally occur, wouldn't it? It would. So, to give you an example, how about flipping a quarter and having it land on heads almost an infinite number of times, but not quite. You'd say that would never happen. Yes, but if the amount of time you have to try to get that many heads to occur in a row, if you had an infinite amount of times to try, then eventually it would occur because you have infinite time. So the better you understand like these sort of abstract ideas in math, the more you realize the argument that, oh, this is unlikely, therefore it must have been created, actually doesn't make sense. It's more to do about whether or not time is infinite. So like we know that we're not infinite. Humans die very quickly, but we don't know how long reality has been around. Right? Reality could have been around for a very long time. You see what I'm saying? And then our appreciation of time is all based on our very short lifespan. Oh my God, those numbers are so small. Well, in an infinite amount of time, those numbers might not be small at all because it's irrelevant how small they are. All that's relevant is whether or not it's possible for the event to occur for the universe to come into existence. That's the only thing that's relevant in a reality of infinite time. All right, let's go ahead and do this. I don't know if you understood that. I hope you did. If you could prove that reality does not run on an infinite amount of time, even in that case, you could say, well, it's unlikely, but that's different from saying it's impossible. So if it was impossible, then you see what I'm saying. But if it's unlikely, then we would still exist, and we'd be stroking our chins going, wow, this was unlikely. There must have been a God. You see what I'm saying? So even in a case where there, time is not infinite, which is funny, time is really a human made up idea. We don't even know what time is. Things just exist and get older, and the world, the universe has energy in it and it moves. But we don't have any concept of what real time is. Time is just a word we made up. You know what I mean? It's just a word we made up. Really great. It is a very interesting thing. Lightning crashes. These guys don't even look like they need help. Right, so Ludo points it out right there. It's unlikely that you will win the lottery, but people do every week. That's exactly right. So if you can imagine that, except with larger numbers, like infinite amounts of tries to win the lottery, then you would expect the lottery to eventually be won, even if the odds were even much smaller. That's exactly right. So he understood it. Time is the space between when I have pizza and when I don't have pizza. That's right. Matthew says, yes, but if the gravity was off by we have existed as humans, the Earth wouldn't be the same and we couldn't have existed and everything would be different. Well, yeah, and Matthew, maybe that actually occurred many millions of times, maybe like bazillions of times. Planets existed, and they blew up because, or they faded, or they disappeared into the nether or whatever, the ether, I mean. And then eventually, one planet came around called Earth, and it happened to have all of the precisely correct numbers to support human life. And now we exist, and now guys like you go, it's so unlikely that this would have occurred. There must be a God. You see what I'm saying? But actually, no, that's not evidence for God. It just means that what happened appears to be rare from our point of view of what a long time is. Raging Bat says, what if we're all dead and we have no memory of our life before our death and we're reborn to go through it all again? No, I don't believe this. I'm just super tired. Right? Some religions believe in incarnation. Some religions believe in incarnation. Time is a word we made up, but it is a concept that exists. We just gave a name to it, and because we know... Well, my point about pointing out that time is just a thing we made up in terms of a word is... oftentimes our imaginations when it comes to trying to speak or understand times are very limited, and time's actually a much more complicated idea. You know what I mean? It's not this thing that's easily measured. We measure it with the clock because we made clocks. And we saw the planets rotating. We're like, oh man, this is time. But what really is time? Is there an actual timer to reality? Right? So go beyond just the rotation of the planets. Get to the very heart of existence. Why do things even exist? Right? So I think that's that ontological argument. Why do things even exist? Why are things moving? Just keep going backwards and backwards and backwards. Is there a limit to how much things will move? Will they just stop at some point? Will everything just stand still? Why is everything in motion? And when it all stands still, would it just stay still forever? Why did it start moving in the first place? Right? So our concept of time is very limited because we just think of it in terms of, oh man, I got fucking wrinkles on my face. I just wait till they push out the armor. Yeah, I know what you mean. I was just elaborating on it. Vendol, there's no such thing. Yeah, why does anything exist? It's hard to believe, but we probably just got really lucky that we came to exist on this. No, well, see, again, it wouldn't even be luck, would it? It wouldn't even be luck. It's just we had to do math problems that involved infinity in a course I took for computer science because the issue of infinity is really important, right? People don't do math problems with infinity because it's kind of a impractical and not useful thing to know when you just need to learn how to be a cash register at McDonald's. But there's a lot of work that gets done on math problems that involve the issues like infinity, and the more you understand them, the more you understand, obviously luck does not exist, first of all. There is no such thing as luck. Luck is our perception of things that occur that seem unlikely to occur, but actually there's no such thing as things that are unlikely to occur. There's only a reality where it did occur or it did not occur. And this has nothing to do with odds or chances. Odds and chances and luck, those are all human ideas. They have nothing to do really with physics. Like, whoa, I didn't expect that to happen. Right, physics didn't care about that. What happened to TGC's eyes? Eye strain probably, followed by really, really, really horrible migraine. Alex says, the only thing that has not been investigated enough and cannot be investigated enough is the quantum realm. Yeah, but right, Alex, let's say that we had all the equipment to study the quantum realm. What will happen when that is studied and it turns out we don't have an explanation for why the quantum realm exists? And that's the problem you're going to be stuck on. So you are not going to be able to explain the quantum realm, why it exists. We're going to say, oh wow, look at the quantum realm. It does all this cool stuff. It makes planets. It causes the Big Bang. All right, what caused the quantum realm? And that's exactly what you'll be. That's where it always is. And that's the problem with trying to say that science can solve issues related to telling us where reality comes from, basically. Not sure, actually, but he played with an eye patch last stream. Did or did not occur. Everything in the world is based on binary. True, false. Exactly. It either did or did not occur. The odds of it occurring makes no difference. Makes no difference. So the odds of it occurring does not matter. It just did or did not happen. And this is why humans have a distorted concept of odds. They have a distorted concept because when something unlikely happens, we think a special event has occurred, a miracle, or, oh man, there's no way this could have happened. But it's like, what are you talking about? As long as it is possible, it is actually not special that it has happened. It only looks special to us because humans have a fascination with things that are unlikely. We have a fascination, like an emotional fascination. Are you an atheist? I would say no. I'm not an atheist. I think that, man, I think it's possible that all of reality came out of nothing, no God, no consciousness. So that's actually probably the big one, by the way. The big one is, whatever made all of reality, is it conscious or is it not? That's a big one. So if it's just strictly like numbers just exist. They're like God. Numbers are God. If they just exist and they're like God, you might as well be doing anything you want every single day of your life. Go have big orgies, do anything you feel like, because it is all meaningless, and you're gonna go, you're gonna go into a bin when you're dead, and this is it. This is all you'll ever experience, and you better be doing drugs and doing literally everything as long as it's not shortening your time on Earth. So you want to make your time last as long as possible, and you want to have as much pleasure as possible the entire time. It basically would be an argument for hedonism. But that's if there's really nothing but numbers that created the world. Really nothing but numbers. Of course, alternatively to hedonism, you may instead believe that we are meant to become God. That's the other possibility. Humans are able to harness perhaps these numbers because we're consciously aware of them and become God, which is very often the other side of. So you've got hedonism versus becoming God when it comes to atheism. But we're very far away from becoming God, honestly. And it may just physically not be possible, from like a numbers perspective. Like, are we ever going to harness the power of a star? Are we ever going to harness the power of the universe? Probably not. The universe is so much larger and moving so much faster than us so quickly. We're just barely going to colonize Mars. We're not going to have the power necessary in order to change the universe. We have limitations on how much. We got like fossil fuels, man. That's all we have. So the possibility that we become like gods is very small. I'm not saying it's impossible, because you have to believe sometimes that in order to accomplish something, you have to believe that it can happen, or it never will happen. But if I'm somebody who likes to make predictions, and I would say definitely in my lifetime we won't do it. And many human beings are not intelligent enough to contribute to us becoming like gods. So for the majority, average Joe, majority human being, your best outcome in life would be to live a very hedonistic but very long-lasting life, where people are happy in a hedonistic sort of way. Think of like Bacchus from the Roman Greek pantheon. There we go. Good old Bacchus. He looks a lot like Santa Claus, doesn't he? That's pretty suspicious. Anyways, okay, but that's if there's no conscious awareness coming from the thing that created the universe, created reality. If there is conscious awareness, like if it's an aware thing, like a person almost, that's a huge deal, because then it would be very much like a religion. But the funny thing is, you don't even know if that conscious aware being, whatever it is anything like a human, or gives two craps about you, or is even good for you. Whatever the consciously aware thing that created all of reality is, could actually be bad for humans. Could be, let's say Satan created the universe, right? So religious people often understand that concept of Satan. But let's say Satan created the universe. Well, then, you wouldn't want to live in that reality where it was a consciously aware being who made the world. You would prefer that it was basically just numbers. So it's a very interesting problem. And again, at the root of it, we are very unlikely ever going to know, because of our physical limitations, right? We have physical measurements, we have physical tools, we have sensory organs, eyes, ears, and that's the only way we know the world around us. And we have limitations with what our brains can do too. Like, why aren't the animals as smart as us? They don't have the conscious awareness that we do. They're not sentient. So what other limitations could humans actually be missing, right? We happen to have conscious awareness, and it changed everything for us compared to all the other animals. What if there was something beyond conscious awareness that we haven't developed? You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know. It's impossible, because that's the definition of lacking it. The animals don't know that they're stupid. Well, humans might not know that they're stupid. Wait, I dealt good damage? Chad Sexington dealt 11%? Whoa, did I come in first place for damage? That doesn't even make sense. I joined in later. Maybe I missed it. Anyways, Risk, you can do that all. I found the Nightshade Palumaverse. Hello. I wouldn't want to live in a world where I know someone out there created the world. I would feel like someone is watching me fap. Well, maybe they are watching you fap. That's not such a bad thing. Dorian said, Raging leaves himself wide open if you know his moves. For my dog, God. What? But yeah, so am I an atheist? No. I wouldn't say I'm an atheist because that would confirm that I'm certain that there is no God, and I'm really, really uncertain that there is no God. I'm sorry, I'm really, really, yeah, I said that right. I'm really, really not certain whether or not there is no God. That's what I meant to say. Wow, look at this decoration. Guardian Evasion. I hate the idea that maybe I'm agnostic, you know what I mean? I used to think that it was a good thing to be agnostic, but over time I realized it's really not. It's not a good idea to be agnostic. Red and black aces. Do you like damage meter option for PC? Scoreboard that tells you how much damage you did? Sure. I'd find that interesting, actually. Yeah, I'd find that very interesting. Sir, do you believe birds exist? Government birds, but that's it. The birds aren't real. I'm still waiting for your next 10 things you need to know video. Oh, I'm sorry, Arso. I've got all of the tips put together in a list already. I just, actually, it was done, like, the list was done almost a full month ago. I just haven't been working on videos because they don't pay any money right now. They don't pay any money, man. Speaking of which, there's 360 people watching now, so I suppose now's good enough time as ever to mention it. I have an eBay store where I sell stuff that you can buy in order to support me. I will be operating an eBay store that will probably be quite robust over time because I'm going to be selling Pokemon cards on eBay, actually. So if you've ever wanted to throw money my way, but also you for some reason felt a acute desire to collect Pokemon cards, you can have a look at that. There's a link to it in the description of the live stream now. And hopefully I can remember to add that in my future live streams. But these will be professionally graded cards. And the nice thing about them is if you buy one, you can easily resell it. It's very easy to resell professionally graded cards. Okay. And there's actually some stuff in there that I've personally signed. So if you've ever wanted something in there signed by me, like a cool Shuckle, I've got 2 Shuckles in there signed right now. They're professionally graded Shuckles. And you could pick up a professionally signed piece of merchandise from me in that regard, and maybe you'll even find yourself a little curious about the world of collecting rare cards. Who knows? Faux PH says, while Hunting Horn dealt lower total damage, he probably helped in making overall damage higher. Elmer says, what quest is good decoration farm? What quest is a good decoration farm? The best decoration farm is definitely Extreme Behemoth. What are some subspecies of humans? Anyone who watches... No, I'm just kidding. You started collecting cards because you like the game or just as an investment? When I was a kid, I collected the cards for fun. Everyone that I knew was collecting the cards when I was a kid. And most importantly, it was an actual game. So you would collect the cards and then you would battle your friends. And now as an adult, I do it as a form of investment. It's my favorite form of investment. I probably will invest exclusively in Pokemon cards over time. I have a very strong feeling that they're going to do very well. They already have done well. I don't think that I don't think that the Pokemon franchise will die anytime soon. I think it's pretty much the Disney of Japan in many ways. It's just a franchise that's going to be around for a very long time. Pikachu and all that. Come on now. It's weird. It won't let me grab. Oh, there it goes. Huh, weird. You know, I need to turn up my brightness again. So anyways, I collected them when I was a kid, and now I'm collecting them as an adult again, but in a much more sophisticated way. Let me see. If I raise the brightness on my television... Here, let me try this. So it looks like I'm standing... Oh, raising the brightness on my television fixed it. Sweet. How does your family feel about your crippling Pokemon card addiction? Well, my kitty cat children don't have anything to say. And my wife is suspiciously quiet, which probably means I have her approval. That's the way I see it. That's the way I choose to see it. Mister, what's the new meta? Data will die, biggest media franchise of all time. Right. See, like, even I really agree, basically. I think that people who are not into Pokemon card collecting will one day look back and be like, whoa, those cards, it'll be in the future, and they'll be like, wow, that Pokemon card goes for 40,000. I'll never believe that. And then I'll be able to tell them, yeah, there was a time when the cards used to go for like $2,000, and that was it. They used to be affordable. You missed the bus, man. You missed the train. But that'll be a while from now. I think another 20 years, that's what'll happen. What the hell? How do you get over to him? It says he's 134. I guess it wants me to jump down here. Okay. God, I wish I had the goddamn trail. What are they called? Raider Riders. There we go. I wish I had the Raider Riders right now. I would just grab onto a Raider Rider and let it take me over there. My cat's chewing on something. She's cute. Alright, finally. What's the rarest Pokemon card you have now? Right? So I got this card a little while ago for $4.5 thousand. It was a Shining Charizard, first edition from Neo Destiny. Back is a card from the year 2002. And currently you can only buy one for $8,000. So almost double what I paid. $8,000. Woo! Some spicy cards right there, man. And there's a bunch of people watching it because they're all probably sitting there biting their nails going, oh my god, do I need to buy this right now before it goes up even higher? I promise you that's what everyone is asking themselves right now. One just recently sold for $7,000, and that's why everyone's looking at the next one at $8,000, because they're thinking, if I don't buy this now, the price of this card is going to skyrocket and it's never going to come back down. And that's probably correct. You know, if I had, like, let's say I had I was a trust fund baby or something like that, and I just had a ton of money, I would have already bought them. I would have bought them right now. I would have already bought them. Luke, he says, agnosticism and atheism aren't mutually exclusive. You can be agnostic atheist, not 100% sure there isn't a God, and choose to live as if there isn't. Yeah, you could. I suppose you could do that. Maybe what you mean is you're not going to follow all the religious traditions, because there's quite a lot of religious traditions that they get really out of hand, don't they? For example, honor killings, or killing apostates, or killing people who blaspheme your leader guy, your prophet, as well as trimming the skin off of your kid's dick, because that's what the Jews do, right? They do the whole snip circumcision, or the much worse version, circumcision for women, right? Which is like where you cut the clit off or something like that. Just crazy. Like, at least the boys' organs still mostly function. Nothing's really damaged in terms of being able to enjoy sex. But like for women, what the they don't even know what they're missing. You know, their moms who are if I'm not saying they all do that, by the way. So, but some people do, and I think it occurs. I think it's like in Africa, right? Is it Africa? But they do that kind of stuff, and in some areas, some religious areas, and the whole concept is so barbaric. I can't believe it. It's like, wow, you're gonna clip that off? No way, man. So women shouldn't feel pleasure sexually or something. I don't know what the reasoning is. Some hyper conservative thing. You got to stop your wife from going from behind your back or something like that. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I remember reading about it in National Geographic, but it's been a little while, so I don't know if it's still a thing. I don't know if they still practice that. Dude, I can look it up. It's called genital mutilation for women. Female genital mutilation. Does it still occur? Frequently asked questions. Female genital mutilation. Okay, and where are these places? Mali, Guinea, Senegal, Egypt. Egypt, really? Sudan, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia, Yemen? Ah, oh, darn. Yemen too, huh? Nigeria. So those are the places where it's still practiced. That's quite a few places. Whoa. Man, that's a lot of information. Yeah, so it is still practiced. It's still a thing. I thought that was some. I thought because I read about it so long ago in National Geographic, I thought there might be a possibility that I'm making a bunch of noise over something that people stopped practicing. Maybe who knows, 20 years ago. But nope, it's still going on. Still going on. You can be a girl in one of those places and have your your clit snipped, which is absolutely insane, and should just be made illegal right away. So yeah, when you say, hey, I don't choose to believe in a God, well, the thing is, if you really are agnostic, then you wouldn't say that. But probably what you meant to say is, I don't practice things like genital mutilation, but also maybe you don't agree with the circumcision, because although it's not as damaging, it's the concept behind it is still kind of pretty strongly bad. You're mutilating the boy's ding dong without his permission. He's an individual, right? You don't technically own him like a slave. You know what I mean? He is an individual. And you're making some pretty large life-changing choices for his twig and berries. I would want to have a say in it if I was him. You know what I mean? Did you already claim all treasures in all maps? All treasures in all maps. I have no clue what you're talking about. Is that Hudud law? I have no idea. I saw on the news that just now Ethiopia made it illegal. That is good news then. Yeah, that's good news. It should be illegal everywhere. Absolutely ridiculous. Cutting girls' clits. What? Who does that, man? Well, we can't have girls having a good time in bed. Wow, that's psychopath stuff. It's like, that's the whole goal of it, man. Oh god, I'm getting beat up. I ain't scared of you. Can you explain evade window to men? Please, I still don't understand what it does exactly. So when you roll, your character has what's called an iframe, which is short for invincibility frame. And an invincibility frame can be used to physically roll through an attack. So let's say the monster is physically attacking, they throw a huge hitbox at you, and what you do is you roll through it using your iframe. When you add evade window to your build, the iframe lasts longer, so you're given a more generous window of time to roll through a monster's attack. It's a nice skill, but really expert players don't even bother with it because they're so good. They just iframe correctly, anyways. With Iceborne, they put in treasure you can collect with expeditions. Really? I had no idea. Well, the answer would be no. I have not collected any of the treasure. Do I have speed eating secret? Yes. Why did you take down the Lance video? Oh, right. People keep asking me this. Because for the second time, the Lance video was not rendered correctly. And so it will be placed up a third time. I'm so sorry for... It'll be the worst... I've never done that before where I've had to post a video 3 times. It's very sad. It was rendered, it was re-rendered, and now it's being re-rendered. But this time I will be smarter and I won't hit the publish button until I'm absolutely certain that it is the full 20 minutes. Narcapuga? Uh-oh. 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 He's mad. Did you know the media is fear-mongering again with the murderous hornets? Only one was found and it was dead, and murder hornet is just a name that media made up. The Japanese, or the Asian murder hornet or whatever. No, it's serious business. You know, if we had invasive species come in and affect the bees in a really bad way, obviously that would be big news because it could affect our farming. It could affect people. Could, I suppose, every year a certain number of people actually died of those things. They look terrifying. But you're right. Fear sells very well in the news, and so they're always looking for something. Probably what they do is they say, what's the top 3 scariest things to talk about, and they put that into a list, and then that's their content.
Can you please do an attack support hunting horn build?
Hold on. Let me jump over here. Let me see who just asked for that. Come on, baby. Can you please do an attack support hunting horn build? I would, but I'm going to have to say I'm not going to accept dollar weapon requests. Matt, so I think what you were doing there is you were making like a weapon request. I do take weapon requests, but a dollar weapon request is actually 50 cents. And I don't think if there was ever a point in the future where I'm getting a lot of weapon requests, I don't think $1 would be. I think probably $5 a basis would probably have to be the maybe like the floor. But I tell you what, since it's a topic of interest anyways, we'll go ahead and do it. Just know that I could decide to turn you down on $1. You see what I'm saying? So $1 is not a weapon request. Yeah, $1 when it goes through PayPal is actually, I'm pretty sure it's 45 cents after PayPal's taken its fee. TGC, did you know that if you roll forward, you can sheath faster? Oh, cool. I did not know that. With the Greysword? That's a good tip, man. His actual name is Giant Asian Hornet, or something along those lines. Woo! He did not like that smack. Vespa mandarinia is the Latin name. Yeah. I like bugs. I've never actually, when I was a kid, I used to catch bees barehanded. I didn't use a net. I would just pluck them up by their wings. And I wouldn't break their wings or anything. I'd be gentle. But I always found them really fascinating, especially the big carpenter bees. And I stopped doing that because one time I was being too casual. I was a kid. I was too casual. I trusted them too much. And I finally got stung and I'm like, you know what? This is stupid. I'm done catching bees. But it used to be something, it was like a ritual that I did every year. I'd catch bees, and I'd catch a praying mantis too, and I'd feed the praying mantis whatever I wanted. So I loved bugs as a kid. It was really enjoyable. What build are you running on the Greysword? Probably a terrible one. There you go. So my builds are often terrible. Roll forward towards the direction you are facing. They found one dead hornet on a ship. Really? Let's look this up. Murder hornet hoax. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Wait. Experts say no need for South Carolinians to fear the murder hornets. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I didn't see any of that in the Google results. There was a supposed bee expert that said, don't worry about it, they live in forested areas and not by your home, but it didn't say that there was only one found and only on a ship. Oh, just before you could roll. Thoughts on the next Monster Hunter generation? Hopefully they call it Monster Hunter Universe. Hopefully it has even better graphics for the new consoles. And hopefully they actually start introducing some new monsters. Also, I'd like 2 new weapon classes. So there's 16. Dude. What are you doing? What you are doing is hardly half of what a Greysword can do. Well, I'm barely even looking at my TV, to be honest. I'm looking at the chat almost the whole fight. I don't even see what happens. I'm playing the game in my peripheral vision. I see like some blobs moving around and I push some buttons. What is the best weapon to finish up all quests on Iceborne? The lance. What kind of weapon would you like to see added? The lance, except with no shield. There's an upcoming Monster Hunter game? Cool. No, there's not. We are not saying that. I'm real talk. No one here is confirming a Monster Hunter game. People are just saying, what would you like to see? That's all they're saying. What did he say? He wants like some kind of support hunting horn? Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, it looks like we do have Tariff Pipe Sleep. No? Oh, I was hoping that maybe we would have Switch axe, lance, flippy bird, great sword. All right. Alrighty then. So these have to be upgraded. We're going to take Tear Pipe Sleep. And he wants a support weapon, huh? Got so much support. Loaded with the support. Free medieval agitator. Yeah, about that. Let's see. How about Horn Maestro? Maestro. Is it Maestro or Maestro? How about... Oh, really? So that's wide range 3. Let's see what we have for wide range real fast, guys. Friendship is called... No, it is called wide range. Okay, we just have the small decorations for wide range, so we're going to drop these off. Alright, well that's exactly how it's going to be right there. And now we're going to go ahead and take as much... Well, we didn't finish up free meal, actually. Let's see what we have for free meal. What kind of options we have. What? What?
Hope they better for the attack. Support hunting. Horn build.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, that's Squidward. I didn't know I had that animation. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks very much, man. It's just I didn't want to create sort of like a standard where dollar weapon requests were the norm, because that wouldn't make any sense. And honestly, it kind of wastes money just because of the goddamn PayPal transaction fees. When it comes to a lot of small transactions, they just take so much. They don't like small transactions. But yeah, I don't want to feel obligated to put builds together, especially if it's for a weapon I don't feel like playing at the moment, on 45 cents. Am I a baby? I'm a big baby. I'm a big whiny baby. Let's see, where is Agitator? Come on, Agitator. For some reason, it's down here. No, we weren't doing Agitator. We were doing free meal, weren't we? Satiated Expert. Okay. It's kind of nice. Satiated Expert. All right. Okay, I can do that. Okay. Agitator. Only the medium decorations, huh? So I would say right now a bigger priority is going to be Crit Eye. And unfortunately, we do not need Brachydios Greaves and Brachydios Folds, because we don't need Agitator Secret. And we don't need those last 3 levels of Agitator, probably. Peak Performance actually might be a better option here. Peak Performance might give us more, but let's just play with what we have. There's a level of Agitator, and... Actually, should those both be... Maybe those should both be Crit Eye. The thing is, you only get 5% more affinity at the lower levels. It's between level 6 and 7 where you jump 10%. But I don't think we're going to make that, except for in the mantles. And only the Rocksteady mantle has the Expert Decorations. Temporal doesn't even have it. I feel like Agitator is more useful here. Maybe. So we're going to level 5, and that's giving us 3% more affinity and 4 more attack. I guess we will. Wouldn't it just be nice if we could bring those last 2 levels up? Man, that'd be nice. Well, I'm not going to dwell on it. Let's join a quest. Available quest. Iggy Briggy Heart. How about events? Wrath of Thunder. Gold Wraithing. Alright, Achy Breaky Heart it is. Moves you around without having to unsheath. The pot is 360 degree. What are your thoughts on Elemental Greatsword? It would be okay, I guess. I never tried Elemental Greatsword before. There's no need to. It doesn't really change your amount of damage that you do. Unless the Elemental Greatsword had like a bazillion elemental. Like if it had like 2,000 fire, then that would be an Elemental Greatsword. Is Frostcraft good for Elemental Greatsword? I don't know. Is it? Zenora, hit that start button. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's on X Games mode. Could clean up the floor around me, I guess. Oh, you know what I could do? I could stand up and stretch. What if I did that? That would be good. Oh, what are you looking at, kitty? Kitty. She's so comfy looking. Kitty, I'll be like you soon. I'll be laying in bed soon. Let's see. Oh, finally, we're starting. Is this cheap PC? That's right. I have to go. Good morning. See you later, Chumpy. Kabani says, Max, my secret, you do not use stamina with the horn. I don't know if I fully agree with that, because you roll a lot with the horn, that's for sure. But, yeah, you do roll a lot with the horn. Alright, Kitty, look out. She came over because I was looking at her, and now she's like, are you paying attention to me? Are you going to pet me? Sorry, Kitty, I was only looking at you because I was waiting for the game to start up. For Greatsword, is Frostcraft better than Master's Touch? I'm not aware of any endgame Frostcraft build for the Greatsword right now. I don't think you use it in any case. Alright, there's the attack up large buff. And the movement speed up buff. And now we have done our part. Alright, and I can go ahead and stand in the corner now. So we did that. Let's go ahead and give everyone Mega Demon Drug. We're going to give everyone Demon Powder. We're going to give everyone Might Seed. So basically with all these damage buffs, the team's going to be doing a lot more damage. But the truth is, the only unique buff that the Hunting Horn provided... Ouch. The only unique buff the Hunting Horn really provided was the attack up extra large buff. So any weapon can run wide range and just put out the, the Demon Drug. Anyone could do that. It's not limited to just the Hunting Horn. So when you think of it that way, one of the things you do have to consider is that with the Horn, unlike the Hammer, you do actually give up one of your decoration slots for Horn Maestro, which is actually quite annoying. Oh, we got him right in the head. And he's down. Aw, that didn't reach. Let's go ahead and heal him. I would say if you work really hard on farming your Dust of Lives in the garden, a lot of the cases you won't really need to play play wide range. My cat's under my table chewing plastic. She's so funny. Try and help this guy. Smack him in the foot. He's definitely about to move to the next stage. Is there anyone who can take advantage of the tail? Let's go ahead and soften the tail. Oh, let's not soften the tail. Alright, and so at this point you can actually start to consider eating a new Might Seed. Just to stay ahead of it. Got him. Literally. I just got master rank. What gear should I get? You should get all the good gear. I think we just tripped him. Unless he's KO'd. I don't think he's KO'd, so I think we tripped him. Alright, let's go ahead and reset the attack up large. And you know what? We'll also have this. Who's ready for some pro corner hornering? Hey GC, what skills do you think a Latreon armor will have? All the skills. Duh. They're going to have all the skills. Probably there will be some new skill. I'm guessing for the armor set, some new set bonus skill. Who knows what it is? Attack up large. Standard health recovery. Alright, and let's get the attack up extra large out. There it goes. Here's a recovery speed buff. That must have been KO, right? I think that was KO. Aw, we didn't hit any of that. And he's off. Temporary Raging Bracky would be fun. Brachydios and Acidic Glavenus look the same. I can't tell them apart when they turf war. I wanted it. Wait, we're going the wrong way. Is he running all the way down here? That little stinky bitch. Woo! The murder wasp. I hate murder wasps. Ouch. Oh my god. Is Jason born? Am I dead? Oh. Getting pretty close to that explosion. Hunting horns can actually contribute a lot toward mounts. As you can see. It's not quite as good as the hunting horn ledge hop, because when the hunting horn does its ledge hop, it can literally pull itself onto the ledge, whereas you have to roll back onto the ledge, which means you have a lot more limitations that the hammer does not have. But it's not that bad, actually. Especially when you have a short little ledge like this one. You saw me spamming aerial damage there. So if I'd had, like, let's say the flight decoration, that would have been even better aerial damage. He's ready to come down. Bring him down, boys! Woo! Oh no. Oh man, he trips fast. If you attack his feet, this guy trips all day. He could be a siege monster. I just hope I get to find him when he comes out. I actually have TO plus Raging. Put this on real fast. He's so mad. That's us resetting the attack up large, or the attack up self-improvement buff. Now we're gonna reset attack up large. Alright. Tell you what, let's just get it out. Let's just get it out so the team doesn't miss out on the damage. Alright, and now we're gonna go ahead and have our Might Seed. Is he gonna KO? No, no KO. Burn! He's so mad. I don't care. Oh, that's KO. Oops. Don't do it. Now, I have to say, in this last stage, having somebody run wide range is actually pretty nice, isn't it? Because everyone's take damage, and you know, actually, we can counteract some of that too. This recovery speed here, let's get this recovery speed large reset just to make sure it stays. You can interrupt me, because I have Rocksteady. Is he going to sleep? He's going to sleep. I'll take one last hit. He's almost dead. He's very close. Oh, I did not realize Rocksteady was dead. Ouch. Man, this is so early in the morning right now. Oh, is he dead? Nope, he's fine. And Raging Bracky is dead. Alright, and there you go. The support hunting horn on a kind of like a just kind of thrown together budget build that I have on my PC. It's not quite a budget build though. Jay Rizzo says, Law, you skipped my first message about wanting Dire Morales and read the part where I said he could be a siege. Michael says, if you're farming the new jewels, don't bother Steamworks, just do T3 investigations or Stygians and Ogre. Gold Wyverian Prince equals better decorations. Steamworks is great for everything, but the rare decorations like Attack 4, Expert 4, Crit Vitality, etc. T3 Temper Quests are better, get high level decorations. Did that guy try to catch Raging Bracky? That's right. So that's what we were running, and we didn't have the best decorations. Woo! Can you show your build? No, that would be literally impossible. What do we got here? Handicraft Vitality? That's pretty good. Critical Physique? Handicraft Vitality, huh? I guess it's not that good. Alright. We'll do another round, I guess. The Wrath of Thunder. With Fature. Wait a second. I have a round with Fature. Duh. I'm coming, Fature. GE needs health augment. That's true. It does need health augment. That is true. I am not denying that. Let's go ahead and have this. Pay with money. Chef's Choice Platter. Alright, stand by for departure. Sweet. So, KR quest is gone, and I didn't get my ice bow. Can I still get it from high rank Kolv Taroth? Yes, you should be able to. If high rank Kolv is here, you have the ability to slay her and get it as a whatever they're called, the rainbow rewards. The rainbow rewards. Oh, that's boring. How exactly does blast damage work? I use Shatter Spear. Sometimes it deals 300 blast on top of normal damage. Does it matter if the monster isn't particularly weak to blast? No, it does matter. It does matter if the monster is weak to blast, because you want to have it build up quickly, and blast is basically just like any other ailment. The monster has an internal health bar on how much blast damage you need to deal before the blast sets off. Oh, what did I do? I didn't do movement speed up. And it's an interesting ailment because it doesn't decay, unlike other ailments. Oh my god. And every time you activate it, it's going to take more blast damage to get the next level of blast to activate. You know what I mean? So if you've already gotten, let's say, 2 blasts off, it will take many more hits to get the 3rd blast. How do you use the hunting horn underwater? How do you use it? Oops, bad terrible timing on the roll. Get the Mega Demon Drug. You're okay, Pager. Poison is unique though. Poison is unique because you can build up to the next level of activating the poison ailment even while poison is active, right? If I'm not forgetting that one. Alright, we got that done. I think blast works pretty well on dual blades and bow. Oh no. Please don't kill me. Please, mister. What about Lao Shan Long in the Guiding Lands? Hunting horn underwater instead of toot, you bloob. It's a good description. Oh my god. Oh, I thought he was gonna kill me. I thought he was gonna kill me, but he did not. Ha, not even close, man. Not even close, man. Oh my god. Am I KO'd? I'm not KO'd now, but I promise you I'm very close to KO. We'll just go after the tail, that makes sense. No, there's an ogre, don't do that. God, he's such a bitch. Alright, we got the piercing pod. The damage depends on monsters' resistance. Guiding Lens can have stupid large areas for specific monsters. Hunting Horn can be solo weapon, also group hunt is good either way. Yeah, good at being terrible. Jojo, this is a game with giant bull monkey that eats thunder unicorn horns and then becomes Super Saiyan shooting lasers out of his mouth. I don't think poison is stacked when the enemy gets poisoned. I thought that's what they said about it. I thought that's what I read. It's a unique ailment where you can continue to build up to the next level of poison. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I realized that's some old things that I've been told a long time ago. Maybe it's wrong. Doot, 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 doot. Missed the roll. Oh, I'm not trying to push that button. What are you doing, man? Dude. Oh, what? What the heck? What the heck, man? It's a pitfall trap. Ouch. Brr. You trying to sneak off? I fell. The best I can do, guys. Nice job. Nice job. Picking up the slack. I didn't have any pause, so. Oh my god, how many times is he gonna go, bruh? Ouch. And you know what? We don't even have our attack up extra large set up, which is stupid of us. Ouch. I'm just kind of letting everything hurt me. Brr. Oh my god, how many times are you gonna roar, man? You'll roar 500 times. Hey, mister. How's it going, cookie cutter? That actually got me all the way up here. Don't kill the dog. Oh, I'm killing him. Are there no pods anywhere? Oh my god. Did that really just happen? Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna play that game where... Oh, okay, we got him. It's kind of like, are we gonna play that game where nobody can decide where we're gonna fight him? We'll fight him down here. Woo! Good game. I did a lot of good because the hunting horn has attack up extra large, and so I was helping. The hunting horn can solo Kolv Taroth too. Catan says terrible experience with roars of shrieking. Like Iana, Kieran roars the most. That's true. That is accurate. We need the insects to come into Iceborne. That would be cool, but we're never going to get that. Let's be honest. What do we got? Enhanced protection, venom, vitality, destroyer. All the good decorations. I don't care how much your master rank is. If you don't run earplugs on Kieran, you're a noob. Terrible experience with the roars. Hey, mister, would you rather hunt Arch-Temper Elder Dragons that only have faster moves and more health, or would you rather hunt a variant of said Elder Dragon? I would rather hunt a brand new monster that we've never seen before that Capcom designed for Iceborne. Well, guys. I think now is a good time to wrap up. I know it's not the full 2 hours. We got about 12 minutes left, but I'm tell you what, I'm actually falling asleep a little bit at the wheel here, and that's because it is just about my bedtime. Maybe we will have a second live stream on the PC. How far along do we get our master rank? We're master rank 96 now. Spectacular. Now we need 4 more levels of master rank. The grind is real. This is my 3rd character. I already reached master rank 100 on my Xbox character, but because I am a masochist, and because I want to play with all of you, we're going to have to keep playing in order to reach that master rank 100. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pop off to bed and cry a little bit. He says, keep yo in here, says Luffy. No, I'm falling asleep. I can feel it. It's because it's so late. 6:30 in the morning. I haven't gone to bed. It's time for me to get back to making content, though. I feel like it's probably time for me to get back to making videos. So I got to get the tips video out. I got to get weapon popularity out. And maybe we will look into a second game to play even. Who knows? All right, I'm going to thank you all for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. And it goes, ree!